Good morning. A few days ago, I was at WordCamp Athens and I got the chance to interview Yoast. Yoast is the founder of the Yoast SEO plugin, which is the world's most popular SEO plugin with now over 11 million downloads. He knows more than anyone else about SEO, WordPress, and now AI. And I got the chance to chat to him about what he thinks is going to happen with AI and search engine optimization. So if search engine optimization is important to you and content is important to you and AI interests you, this interview has some real gold dust in it. Just one more quick thing to add. I do seem to say yeah quite a lot in the interview, which irritated me a little bit, but hopefully it won't irritate you too much, and it's worth persevering because there's some brilliant content in here. Let's get to it.
So I guess the big topic at the moment that everyone's talking about is AI.
There is a lot to chat about.
There's a lot of chat.
Yeah.
And you're obviously a SEO guru. So I guess broadly, have you been taken by surprise of how quickly this has hit us, I guess?
Well, I've been mostly surprised by Google's response to it. So ChatGPT came and suddenly everyone was in panic.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious to see that. And also a bit frightening in that they really seem to have been caught a bit by surprise.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it has many implications of things that we can do with it that are awesome. It also has many implications of things that we're going to do with it that are going to be fairly bad for everyone involved.
Yeah.
So fake news was a problem already. It's not going to get any smaller with this.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be hard to battle for Google for a while, because suddenly it's not just fake news, it's fake everything.
Yeah.
So recipes, reviews, whatever you want, suddenly all becoming a lot harder to realize, like, what's real, what's not.
And I saw that Google are starting to experiment with changing the search interface. So the top bit's going to potentially start to use ChatGPT like answers. How do you, I guess a few questions. One is, do you view that as a good thing? Two, how do you view that's going to affect content creators? And actually, three, how do you think that will affect the SEO business community?
So I think the answers are actually all connected, because I view that not necessarily as a good thing.
Okay.
Mostly because these models are not built to generate truth.
Yeah.
They're built to generate text.
Yeah.
Which is something entirely different. And I think that we have been so trained to think that what we find on Google is true.
Yeah.
And that is a very scary thought. And those large language models just generate the next word. I mean, it's like, what's the most logical word is next. It's not like, what is the right answer to this question?
Yeah.
I hope that they'll iterate and make it actually good. But so far, in what we're seeing from the early people that have access, there's a lot of nonsense in the results. And, I hope we get rid of that before it becomes really adopted mainstream. Then the problem is that once they start generating that text, the question is, how do they send traffic back to the websites that they base their answers on? And so far, the answers that I've seen to that question are not very positive. So I think
I've seen little featured snippets, maybe. Is that right?
And some of them have some links, etc. But I think overall traffic will go down.
Yeah,
and so Google will become less of a referring source.
Yeah,
which is not good for anyone. It's certainly not good for sites that rely on that traffic to make money to be able to generate more good content. The problem then becomes, if more of those models don't work, then there's less new good content to train the AI on, and it sort of becomes a self-defeating thing.
Yeah. And do you think Google's business model is going to hold it back from, for example, the Google search page has been kind of broken for a while, really. I mean, in terms of I see a lot of searches where actually almost like the whole page is almost like paid ads, right?
Paid ads,
so it feels like it's kind of been broken for a while.
Right. The thing is that broken, though? I think it's actually working quite well in terms of their business.
Okay. But from the user's sort of search intent experience. That feels
so
like...
for a normal user, if they get what they want from those paid ads, they're perfectly happy, right?
Okay.
So
yeah.
if Google succeeds at actually giving results that are good and get paid for it, then they're actually doing a quite good job.
Yeah.
I don't think they're always doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that if they struggle with that too much, then they leave room for competition.
Yeah.
Which I sort of like.
Yeah.
Bing was the first to have ChatGPT in their interface. That's also why Google is now trying to push it so hard, because suddenly they get beaten.
Yeah.
And I love that, because we've had Google dominance for far too long. It's not good for a company to be that dominant that long. I think that will bring improvements. I think there's a lot that we could do with AI in all sorts of ways that can help all of us. I think we have to realize also that we need to maybe train people on what they can believe and can't believe on the web.
Yeah.
And that with that, it also becomes more important who wrote a piece of content.
Yeah.
A generic post about SEO is worth a whole lot less than a post written about SEO by John O'Elderson, a colleague from Yoast in the past, the head of SEO there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he writes something and you want to read that, you know that you're reading his opinion. If you're reading a generic piece of content, whose opinion is that, and what is it based on, and is it actually true? So the author becomes more important, and that in a way is very good for us in the WordPress ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because suddenly blogging becomes a thing again.
Yeah, absolutely. And so do you have any like discrete advice for content creators who are starting to leverage AI in terms of the content they're producing? Like, would you say, yep, go for it? Or would you say hold off and don't use it? Or
so I think it's a good tool.
Yeah.
If you make it generate too much text, then you need to check every fact that's in there. So that's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Because the things that you won't check because they seem so logical will be false.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I had ChatGPT generate a bio for me, it said that I was an investor in Rank Math. And while I appreciate that is a plugin company as well, I certainly did not invest in Rank Math. So it is like,
it's confidently wrong a lot.
Yeah. And it is very confident in how it words those things. And that means that you have to check everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having it help you create summaries could be very worthwhile.
Yeah. So do you have if you were going to predict like a year, 2 years out of what this all looks like for us, what do you have a vision of what that might, can you start to piece what that might look like?
I think that's hard, actually. It's moving so fast. I think that what we're seeing so far in the general world, the like generic text creation, is only a tiny bit of what's to come. If you look at the AI agent space a bit, that is super exciting. So you can create an agent, you can ask it to do something like research a topic, and it'll come back to you with stuff. I think that using stuff like that will become a major driver of innovation, but also of making people more productive.
Yeah.
It's already like there's large companies out there that have built their own coding models to make their developers more work faster and work better.
Yeah.
And you see people saying things like, hey, 30 to 40% faster, more code being committed by the same amount of developers. I think that can actually resolve some of our scarcity issues.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of good.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching this TED talk about the Khan Academy, and he was talking about the fact that every kid could potentially have their own personalized tutor, which is phenomenal, right?
So I think there's great things that we will be able to do with it. It'll take some time.
So just a couple of final questions. What this is a negative question. There's been a lot of catastrophizing around AI, and governments are getting involved and trying to put guardrails. So do you worry about some of that stuff, or do you think that's overblown?
I think the guardrails are needed.
Yeah.
And my worry is that governments are not moving fast enough.
Okay.
Yeah, the guardrails are needed. We need to also, train people a bit more in what is this actually?
Yeah.
And which things are they doing, and which things are they, which things are we telling people that AI is good for and is not good for?
Yeah.
And so there's a bit of a worry there.
It's interesting because it's just hit my kids at school. Because Snapchat have introduced an AI on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So suddenly all the kids in all the schools in England now know there's this thing that they can go and do their homework
I don't know. I think that there's already quite a few Macbeth type reviews and stuff being written by ChatGPT for students.
So I think organizationally, it's interesting how schools are going to be forced to change really quickly, and probably won't be able to change that quickly.
No,
same with government.
So they're going to try and stop it, which I think is weird because that's not how this works.
Yeah,
but use it right is also hard.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting thing. I'm not necessarily very thinking that the world's going to blow, but I do think it needs guardrails.
And do you think? Final question. The big worry for me has always been around this single set, we're creating, information systems used to be distributed, and then we started to centralize them with things like Google. This feels like a further consolidation of we're creating this super brain that we go to for our single source of truth. But then I kind of start to investigate the fact that we might have different LLMs that we actually.
I think we'll end up with lots and lots of different LLMs.
Yeah.
And that's actually better than having one big Google.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I think should be regulated is when you work with an LLM, you need to know what's in it.
Yeah.
And that should be public knowledge.
It should be public knowledge, yeah.
And if you know what's in it, then you know what you can use it for.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that
there's no visibility on that at all at the moment.
No, right now there's not. And I desperately hope that we'll get laws very quickly that say, okay, if you're an OpenAI type company, you have to tell us what's in your model.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then some publisher will start complaining hey, but why are we not getting paid for this?
So a big thank you to Joost for his time and his insights. Some really valuable stuff in there. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it useful. This actually forms a series of videos that I've been doing around AI and WordPress. Last week I interviewed Matt Mullenweg, the co-founder of WordPress, and a few weeks before that I interviewed Chris Lemmer with a fantastic interview and insights around AI as well. Those links are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, if you can hit the like button now, it would be amazing because it makes a huge difference in terms of how this video is shared around YouTube. And also every time you do hit that like button, our cats get a little treat. If you want to keep up to date with all things AI and WordPress, hit that subscribe button down below now, and you'll be notified every time I release a new video. Keep well, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.